Transcontinental relations, collaborations, and conflicts. Intercontinental relationships have existed since countries got grouped into continents in the 16th century. And since then, these relationships have continued to evolve drastically, from diplomatic collaborations to hostile rivalries and conflicts. The more countries and continents grew powerful, especially militarily and economically, the more they strengthened their cooperation with their friends and became even more hostile to their enemies. Now, with Africa increasingly showing signs of tearing apart to form two different continents separated by a newly created sea, this exact concept is expected to happen too, especially between these two continents. How this relationship turns out widely depends on a complex interplay of cultural, historical, economic, and political factors, determining whether they would show themselves as collaborative or conflict sides. However, because of the slow progression of this rift formation, none of us watching this video will ever get to see this happen. Geologists have discovered that the crack in the Ethiopian desert only widens about ½ an inch every year, meaning Africa can only complete its breaking up process in the next 2 to 5 million years. That's a pretty long time from now. Therefore, it might be hard for us to predict the exact situation that might pan out. So in this video, we will discuss both the potential collaborations and conflicts that may happen when Africa eventually rips apart. So let's dive right into it. Let's begin with the possible collaborations, and the first for us is the trade and economic partnerships. Nations from different continents naturally collaborate on economic fronts through trade partnerships and agreements. A perfect example is North America and Europe's economic ties. The Africa-Asia economic collaboration is another one to examine. So, why should the new Africa's own be any different? Of course, Africa isn't technologically advanced. Nonetheless, the separation will transfer technology between the two new continents. Africa, of course, would be the more developed at that time and would initiate avenues to invest and collaborate to foster similar technological advancements in the new Africa. The same applies to the health sector. Transcontinental collaborations are crucial in addressing global health challenges. These two Africas can collaborate to join efforts in research, vaccine development, and healthcare infrastructure, strengthening their responses to pandemics and health crises. Then, there's the potential for environmental cooperation. Environmental and climate change issues can be too burdensome for a newly created continent. Climate change and environmental issues require international cooperation. Transcontinental collaboration is essential in efforts to address climate change, protect biodiversity, and promote sustainable development. Lastly, we have the most obvious collaboration: cultural exchanges. Save for the tearing apart of the landmass, Africa is a big continent with hundreds of cultures scattered across 54 countries. We do not expect this to frizzle away because of the separation. Collaborations in the cultural domain, such as art exchanges, academic partnerships, and people-to-people connections, will not only ensure continuity despite human migrations, but also contribute to mutual understanding and appreciation between the two continents. Now, let's move to the various conflicts that may arise between the two continents when they break apart. First, we have the geopolitical tensions. Disputes over territory, resources, or geopolitical influence can lead to conflicts between the two Africas. The current Ukraine-Russia war that is affecting Europe-Asia relations is a perfect example. The same applies to economic disputes too. Trade disputes, protectionist measures, or economic sanctions can strain relations between the two continents. While Africa is a culture-rich nation, as we mentioned earlier, conflicts may also arise in this aspect too. The two Africas may clash due to differences in cultural values, which may cut across governance systems and political ideologies. For example, while most of Africa explores a democratic system of government, the newly formed continent might choose to explore authoritarian systems, which might lead to serious conflicts between the two neighboring continents. Lastly, both continents will undoubtedly compete for scarce resources, which may escalate tensions if not handled diplomatically. See, transcontinental relations are very important just as much as they are multifaceted. And beyond the separation of the landmass, both continents must be prepared for each possibility of conflicts and cooperation. Now, it's over to you. Do you think all these predictions are applicable, or did we miss out on anything? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.